Hello and welcome again to Life Without Shakers. Today I'm at the head of beautiful Wasdale for another exploration of some of the southern fells. And today I'm going to the top of the world, actually just to the top of England. What's in store today is just over 10 miles and I'm starting off on the path up towards Sty Head Tarn, from where I'm going to head to Esk House on the way to Great End, stopping off at Seathwaite Fell on the way, and then from Great End it's Scafell Pike, the highest point in the Wainwright journey, and from Scafell Pike I'm going to descend via Lingmell back to the Wasdale Head Inn. And I need to get my skates on because it's mid-October and it's about 12:30 setting off, so I've not got that much daylight to play with, so let's get a move on. This is actually a walk I've more or less done before, the circle up to Scafell Pike via Great End from Wasdale Head. Never been up Seathwaite Fell or Lingmell before, so looking forward to those. But luckily I've caught the best of the day. Quite clear now, certainly the summits are cloud free, and it was chucking down when I set off from home, and I believe it was chucking down overnight here, so might be a bit wet underfoot in places, but better that than raining right now. And the hills have started. And this is Sty Head Tarn, beautiful spot. About a quarter of the walk done now. It's quite a push up Lingmell back there. I was trying to get the first couple of miles done sort of as fast as possible, just to save a bit of time for the climbs to come. Beautiful though. Said it was going to be wet underfoot, but I wasn't expecting waterfalls directly across the path. That was spectacular. To Seathwaite Fell, the first of today's summits, and this is Sprinkling Tarn. Seathwaite Fell, Wainwright, number 20 of the Southern Fells, 1,970 feet. And it's another of those annoying little fells that has got multiple summits with no obvious clear high points. It's a beautiful fell though, it's lots of little unnamed tarns all the way up. And Wainwright says Seathwaite Fell, after the fashion of Wasdale Pike, rises from and causes the bifurcation of two well-known mountain paths, Gill and Sty Head, but additionally across the neck, joining into the parent fell of Great End by a third, the popular House track. Thus it is completely surrounded by much-used pedestrian highways, but the fell itself, with few attractions to compare with those of the greater mountains around, is rarely visited, except of course by the custodian of the infamous rain gauges, which record, to its shame, that the fell and its vicinity has much the heaviest rainfall in the country. But, thankfully, not right now. I think it's a lovely view from here, in fact. But it's about to get better, because now it's time to head up to the highest points. It's almost to Great End now. Familiar territory of House, the Pike just in front, Allen Crags and Glaramara off to my left, Crinkle Crags distinctly in the distance there, and right behind me it's the alphabetical target of today's walk, it's Great End. to Great End, 2,984 feet, Wainwright number 21 of Book 4. Nobody who is familiar with the topography of the Scafell area will have any doubts why Great End was so named. There could not have been a more descriptive choice for the tremendous northern buttress of the mass. Great it is, and the end of the highest plateau in the country. Without losing much altitude, the lofty spine of Scafell Pike extends northeastwards a mile to the domed summit of Great End, which, when approached in this direction, has little to show other than a balmy waste, a stony wilderness. But the vast northern fall of the mountain is one of the finest scenes in the district, awe-inspiring in its massive strength, and all the more imposing for being eternally in shadow. Of Wainwright's more poetic descriptions of what is a truly beautiful summit. Despite its bleak rockiness, it does have some spectacular views, as you would expect, being the third highest fell in this region. Just look at this view to the north, across the Derwentwater, down Borrowdale. Absolutely wonderful. And now it's time to go to the highest point I'm going to go to. In fact, you can see the summit just there with its distinctive platform. This is Scafell Pike. The difference between a hill and a mountain depends on appearance, not on altitude, whatever learned authorities may say to the contrary, and is thus arbitrary and a matter of personal opinion. Grass predominates on a hill, rock on a mountain. A hill is smooth, a mountain rough. In the case of Scafell Pike, opinions must agree that here is a mountain without doubt, and a mountain that is, moreover, every inch a mountain. Roughness and ruggedness are the necessary attributes, and the pike has these in greater measure than other high ground in the country, which is just as it should be, for there is no higher ground than this. this valley, that is Scafell, which is where I was almost contemplating going today. I'm glad I didn't, glad I decided not to, because there's a cloud rolling in now over that side, but not to the other side of the hill, which is down towards Lingmell, which is where I'm going next. Well, it was definitely much easier coming down that side of Scafell Pike than it was going up the other side of it. Now, relatively quickly, I'm at the bottom of the summit mound and at the foot of the climb up to Lingmell. That was a short but sweet climb. Finally, for today, we reach Wainwright number 23 of book 4, 2,649 feet. This is Lingmell. Following the general pattern of the fells, Lingmell has a smooth outline to the south and west, and exhibits creeks and steep rough slopes to the north and east. The distinction is very marked, the ground falling away precipitously from the gentle western rise of the watershed, as though severed by a great knife, and laying naked a decaying confusion of crags and arêtes, screes and boulders. On this flank is the huge cleft of Pierce Gill, a natural chute for the stones that pour down the 1,000-foot declivity, and the finest ravine in the district. I just poke my head over the buttress here. We can see Pierce Gill. That is spectacular. Definitely wouldn't want to fall down there. And away to the south, a lovely view of Wastwater, and across to the Irish Sea. A fitting point to finish today's walk. Time to head back to Wasdale Head. And for all the tricky descents I've done during this adventure, this is not one of them. Beautiful broad grassy slope. From here I can get a foretaste of the Western Fells. That's going to be the last section that I tackle, being book 7. I think that highest point there is Great Gable. Looks quite imposing from this side. And I'm off the hills for today, back on the path to Wasdale Head. Lingmell looks quite steep for me actually. It wasn't anywhere near as bad as some descents have done, comparatively speaking. And there was a wonderful view of Wastwater all the way down. And here we are again, back in sight of the Wasdale Head Inn. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable walk today, I think. I mean, it helped, I think, that I've done most of it before, so I wasn't hung up particularly on route finding or any of the tricky bits, like the massive jumble boulders on the way up to Scafell Pike. Yeah, I was just able to take it easy and enjoy the magnificent views, notwithstanding the slight rush at the start, trying to make up some ground, wary of the shorter days, but made it with plenty of daylight to spare, as it turns out. Nice short walk today. Just under 10 miles according to my watch, but then that was playing silly buggers towards the end, so it missed about 3/4 of a mile, I think. Anyway, good news is I think there's only about 3 or 4 walks left that are over 15 miles, so the majority of my journey to come is all going to be nice, short, relatively easy walks, which is nice. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed watching today's walk. As ever, thank you for viewing, and hope you can join me next time. Until then, bye for now.